everyone. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Bridget. I am the social media guru here at Realty Executives New Jersey, and today's webinar is all about creating your online brand. With your personal brand, you establish an image, impression, and position. With this identity, you develop your own brand assets, which will include your resume, website, maybe a logo, tagline, and visual images. Just like Realty Executives, you will create a value or mission statement that represents your why and your purpose, either as a personal mantra or to describe your business's overarching goal. To build your brand, know who you want to reach. When creating your brand, it's a good idea to understand your audience. Who are the clients you'd most like to reach? Once you decide this, think about these clients in detail. What are their characteristics? What motivates them to buy or sell property? And what's the best way to connect with them? Answering these questions is an important first step to developing your own brand. Identify what makes you stand out. Another key series of brand-related questions centers on you. What makes you unique, and how do you differentiate yourself from other professionals in the real estate field? Do you specialize in certain markets or clientele? What is important to you as a professional? Also, how are some of the best ways you help your clients achieve their housing goals? Develop a consistent brand look. For a truly memorable brand that reaches across different kinds of marketing materials, including email, business cards, websites, and brochures, impressive visuals are essential. S for sales. Recent sales demonstrate your local market expertise and experience. Customers use this criteria to choose the right agent to contact. H for headshot. Consumers are looking for a relatable and service-focused specialist. Make sure your image is professional. A for advertising markets. Success in one zip code doesn't always translate to success in another. The strength of your profile is relative to the market in which you appear. If your profile is stronger than the competition, you have a much greater chance of seeing success in the market. R for reviews. Reviews have arguably the largest impact on your profile effectiveness. Consumers want to work with a professional who has received praise from other consumers. P for professional bio. Your professional bio is a great way to connect with potential clients and showcase your credibility and the value of your services. Your professional bio structure should consist of the following. Clearly stating your value proposition and credentials sets you apart from your competition and connects you to more potential clients. Organize your bio into categories so consumers can easily browse relevant information. Here's one way you can organize it. In the specialty section, list the real estate services that you provide to your customers. Do you serve buyers? Sellers? Do you specialize in foreclosures? If so, state it here. List the skills and local knowledge that differentiate you from your competitors in the expertise section. Are you the luxury leader in your market? Do you have specialized knowledge of specific housing styles or areas? If so, let consumers know. In the credentials section, list your years of experience. If you're new, consider leaving that information out. Any accreditations you've earned and any certifications you have should also be included here. List any accomplishments that set you apart from the crowd. Were you recognized in your area by your brokerage or an outside organization? What memberships and groups are you affiliated with? These could include NAR, regional associations, MLSs, and Zillow.
So today we're going to talk about why it matters, why your online profile matters so much. We're also going to talk about building your bios in Prime Agent and some of the other major sites that you should be on as agents. So we'll talk about specifics on what to include in your bio. We'll talk about your Prime Agent bio and your Prime Agent profile. So why does your online profile matter as a real estate agent? This is from the 2018 Zillow book that they send out every year that just talks about the different profiles and who's buying and who's selling and that kind of thing. The important thing is when people are buying and looking for an agent, and this is also true when they're selling, but I used buying just as an example. So when you're building your profile, you can think about this kind of stuff. So the median age of buyers is 41, which includes the millennials, which is the 42%, and then the Generation X, which is just slightly older than those millennials. So the millennials and the Generation X are the big internet users. They look for everything online. And then I just thought this was interesting that 64% married, and then 16% never married. So this is kind of what to think about when you're building that profile. Here's your audience for who's looking at houses. 46% of the buyers that are looking are first-time home buyers, and then the repeat buyers are 54%. But if you look at this number, that 30% of the repeat buyers have only ever purchased one home in their lifetime. So if you've purchased one home and it's been maybe 10 years, it's sort of like you're a new first-time home buyer. So if you combine these two, it's a pretty big chunk of people who have not worked with a real estate agent before, or it's been a really long time. So the game might have changed since they last bought a home. 74% of buyers use an agent. So when people are buying or selling a home, they're looking for agents. And this is how buyers found their agent. So referrals are always going to be really important, and that's where your reviews are going to come in a little bit. And then the website is the second most used spot. So it's important that you guys have some kind of web presence. And this is why, because when buyers are looking for an agent, and this is also true of sellers, when they're looking for agents, they're going to go online to learn about who you are. So what does this mean for you? You need to be sure that you have a really strong bio and that it's online and that it's consistent. So why do you need a bio? Because you do want to build that brand. So if you are someone who specializes in first-time home buyers, you want that to be what people know about you when they Google you. Maybe you do a lot of foreclosures, that kind of thing. So your brand and who you are and where you work, it needs to be easy to find online, and you need to have that consistency. Also, you want to show your hyper-local expertise. So when you're doing these profiles that are going to end up on your website, Zillow website, Facebook, people are looking for someone who knows the area. So whether they're looking to buy or sell, they want to know that you are the person to go to in your local neighborhood, your city. So by having an online presence and keeping that consistency, you're letting people know that you are that local expert. And then it's, of course, going to have SEO benefits. So if you make sure that you have profiles set up on Prime Agent, on your website, on Zillow, on Realtor.com, on Facebook, when people Google your name, all of your stuff is going to pop up. So if someone types in Bob Glenn, real estate agent, you want Facebook page to pop up. You want your website to pop up. So the more you guys have consistency across your profiles, the easier it is for people to find you, and that's going to start popping up more and more. So how do you do this? How do you create this strong bio that really shows off who you are so that you can use that bio on other parts of the internet? So you want to gather your information. And this can be true whether you're a first-time agent or if you haven't updated your profiles for a while. A lot of times it's easy to think, well, I've got my profile in there, I don't need to touch it for a while. But hopefully you guys are consistently selling more and more expensive houses, getting those higher listings, winning awards, getting local recognition. That's the kind of stuff you want to make sure you're updating on your profile at least once a year, if not once every 6 months. So gather your info, and if you're new, gather all of your info. If you have been around for a while, you want to make sure that you grab all that more recent stuff. So your information should include your skills, specialties, which areas you serve, and you want to get specific on this. So if I work in my local area, I could just say I'm a real estate agent in Scottsdale. But that's not really helpful because there's a lot of real estate agents in Scottsdale. So if I specialize in a neighborhood like DC Ranch or McCormick Ranch, or another city that's maybe not a ranch, but you guys get the idea. You want to make sure that you are getting really specific about the areas you serve. How many years of experience do you have? And if you're a brand new agent, you don't, I feel like you might not want to say I've been a real estate agent for 1 year, but there's a reason you went into real estate. So use your past experience to talk about how that got you ready to be a real estate agent, or talk about how many years you've lived and served in the neighborhoods and city that you're becoming a real estate agent in. Also, any awards and accolades. And then your testimonials or reviews. So hopefully you guys have some kind of system after you close a deal that you're sending an email out or you're sending a link out to your past clients to get those testimonials and reviews. Those are really going to be important, because when people go to find an agent online, if they didn't get your information directly from a friend or family member, they're going to just find you online, and those reviews are going to be important. Even if someone does send a great review, don't just use it once. So maybe you sent them a link to put a review up on Zillow. Take that Zillow review and put it on your other profiles. Also, reviews are important because even if someone does recommend you, their friend or family member is still probably going to Google you to see how other people felt about you. So those are really going to be important. So, a lot of times you guys don't have a Realty Executives website. I recommend having a Realty Executives website because it works together with Prime Agent. But no matter what your website, you want to make sure that you still have the Prime Agent bio, areas of expertise, photo, all of that stuff filled in. And the reason why is because if someone goes to realtyexecutives.com, types in a city, and they're able to pull up all of the agents that serve that city, you want them to be able to find more information about you. So if you don't do anything in Prime Agent and someone finds you on the Realty Executives website, this is what your profile is going to look like. It's going to have the default logo photo. It's going to have the information that you've entered, which is usually just a cell phone number and a email address. But then you can see there's no bio down here. So you don't know anything about this person besides just literally how to get a hold of them. If you have filled in your information, this is what it's going to look like. So you can see that she's got a nice professional photo here. She has a link to her own agent website, an easy way to get a hold of her. And then she has all of her Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. She has all of this connected through Prime Agent. So if I'm looking for an agent in Tucson and I see Sarah's information, I'll at least be able to learn about who she is and visit her other profiles. So how do we do this? So you've gathered your skills, you've gathered your information. Now it's time to beef up your bio. So it's one thing to have just a list of your specialties, a list of how long you've been doing stuff. But as you guys know, being a real estate agent is a lot of a personal connection. So people might love the areas you serve, your specialties, but they don't have a good feel for who you are. And you really want them to be able to click with you. So when you have your information that I listed before, now you need to add some more personal touches. So how did you decide to become an agent? What made you decide to be an agent is really important, because people kind of get a feel for not only what your past work experience is, and sometimes that helps with real estate. What's your favorite thing about your community? So this is going to do a couple things. One, it's going to let people know who you are a little bit. And it's also going to let people know that you know the local community and that you're part of that local community, which helps with that hyper-local part of your profiles. And then what do you do in your free time? So this kind of is the same thing as what's your favorite thing about your community. If you do things in your free time in your community, that's great. Add those. But this might also be where you talk about travel, or that you write, or that you review restaurants, that kind of thing. So this is a good example of a great profile. He's got his information where he's talking about he's America's #2 realtor according to the 1,000. He's talking about his sales numbers, his price range, years of experience. So this has what you're kind of looking for. The only thing this is missing is some of that personal stuff. So I'm going to send you guys the slideshow after the webinar, and then you'll see this slide that's how to write a strong agent profile. And this is just a few little tips for you. So now that you've got some ideas on how to start that bio, let's go into Prime Agent and I'll show you how to do it. So I'm going to show you on this webinar. You guys will have this recording when we're finished. And then I'm also going to include a guide with that email that just talks specifically about updating the My Account section of Prime Agent. So let's just jump into Prime Agent real quick. So when you're in Prime Agent, My Account, My Profile, this is what's going to show up on realtyexecutives.com when people go to Google and type in Realty Executives in your name. Usually it's going to be the Realty Executives International profile page that pops up. So you want to make sure this information is all correct. So under your profile, just make sure that your phone number or your mobile phone, whichever one is the best place for people to reach you, is checked where it says Show on Profile Website. Make sure this is filled in. So if you're using a Realty Executives website or you're using a website from a different company, just make sure that this address is here so that when people go to find information about you, if they go to realtyexecutives.com, they use the agent search feature. So make sure that site's filled in, because see right here, it says site. That is how they'll go directly to your website. And then this is where you'll fill in those Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, any of those URLs that you have your social media on. That is how you get these buttons to show up. So if you don't have those filled in, these will not show up on your agent profile page. Under My Account, My Photo, this is where you're going to add that photo that's going to show up right here. Just click it and upload that photo from your computer. And your photo, you want to make sure you update this about every 5 years. I've seen some real estate agents, of course, they weren't with Realty Executives, but there were some real estate agents that have photos that look like they were taken, 10, 20 years ago. So make sure that that's up to date. And then My Bio. This is where you fill in all of that information that you're going to put here. So you've got your bio, and then under expertise, this is where you've got your areas served and your specialties. Now, if you wanted to include your areas served and your specialties in your bio, that is completely fine. The only difference is on the Realty Executives agent pages, you can see where it says areas served and specialties. So if you fill it in under this area, it's going to separate it on your website like this. We also have people that can help you out. So I know a lot of times people get intimidated because they feel like they're not great writers. I'm going to send you this link as well when I send all of the stuff, recording and the resources. This is just a survey you can take where you can fill this out, and then we have some people here that can help you out by updating your bio or writing that strong bio, and we can actually put that directly into Prime Agent for you. So I'll send you guys the link to this, but this is really helpful if you kind of get stuck or if you feel like you're not a great writer and you just would like some help writing that profile. So I'll be sure to send you that link.
A real estate brand identity is the who, what, how, where, and why of your company. It sets the tone for how your business operates, provides a sense of who you are and what you represent, and delivers your message and content to your audience. If you are successful, it has the ability to transform ordinary consumers into loyal followers of your brand. Although it takes time to fully cultivate, a real estate brand identity will essentially create a visual representation of your company or brand itself for customers. In addition, a real estate brand identity will also create a personality for your brand. As part of your real estate online marketing strategy, this character will be used not only to communicate your message, but to evoke specific feelings in your audience. In essence, this personality will be used to engage your customer base, as well as leveraging it to cultivate new customers. As an investor, the power of brand recognition cannot be understated. The following reveals the benefits of successful real estate branding. Recognition. As a small fish in a big pond, brand recognition is a prerequisite to success. To get noticed in today's crowded real estate marketplace, investors will almost always need some type of branding to get their message across or to have their presence felt. A real estate brand identity will assist investors in not only establishing a clear and consistent message, which is critical to reaching and maintaining customers, but a face to go along with it. Done right, the mere sight or mention of your brand's name will bring instant recognition and trust among customers, which has the potential to positively impact financial results down the line. However, I should mention that while a real estate brand identity aims to produce recognition among your peers and future customers, it's essentially up to you, the investor, to see it through. Remember that not all recognition is good recognition. Trust. Along with the ability to produce instant recognition, a real estate brand identity also has the power to build trust. This intangible component is a huge benefit for businesses, especially for real estate investors, as a person's home is generally an integral part of their livelihood. This equates to a significant amount of emotional attachment, which will hinder a majority of real estate investors who are deemed untrustworthy. However, a real estate brand identity can help to cement a layer of trust among buyers and sellers, helping to bridge the gap of trust. That said, brand identity in real estate is important for a variety of reasons, but none is more important than building customer trust. Credibility. The one aspect every real estate investor lacks when first starting out is credibility. One of the major advantages of a real estate brand identity is the ability to dramatically expedite this process. As a rookie investor, your level of experience will be at an all-time low in comparison to your competitors, and potential customers will be judging your business and services on your credentials. With none to speak of, your brand identity will play an instrumental role in not only developing your reputation, but maintaining and refining it throughout the years. A real estate brand identity is the first step beginner investors should take to begin constructing their credibility. The final element to real estate brand identity is its promise. As an investor, that promise, whether to be the fastest or the most reliable, needs to be fulfilled each and every time in order to obtain all of the above mentioned benefits. Home shoppers on Zillow are researching homes and agents. In fact, 4 out of 5 U.S. homes that have been viewed on Zillow, and nearly 45% of people who visited Zillow and or Trulia in the past 12 months are planning to buy and or sell a home in the next 12 months. Long-term success on Zillow begins with a competitive agent profile. Differentiating yourself is key to building your brand, establishing yourself as a local expert, and influencing consumers to contact you over another agent. After you complete your Zillow profile, a Trulia profile is automatically generated using the same information. This saves you time by eliminating the need to create and manage 2 separate profiles and expands your reach across both sites. You need to build your online reputation. Now that you're more familiar with personal branding, let's discuss how content marketing can build your brand identity. Content marketing is the consistent, strategic creation and sharing of relevant, valuable content which generally doesn't explicitly promote a brand, but looks to stimulate interest in its offers, ultimately driving profitable consumer action. Content refers to the blogs, social media posts, videos, podcasts, ebooks, infographics, webinars, and other material that you publish to represent yourself and your personal brand.
Hey, it's Coach Tom Ferry. Happy Friday. Welcome to Life by Design, your place online for ideas, inspiration, and what? How to stay in the right action. So let me ask you a question. How's your brand? I talked to you about it a few weeks ago. I want to go a little deeper with you. I've got some questions, some coaching I want to, if I will, provide you today as you think about becoming perhaps one of the more recognizable people in your marketplace. Are there advantages? Are there disadvantages? The answer is absolutely yes. Advantages, a lot more business. You walk into a listing presentation, they already know you, they already trust you, they already like you. You're going to win that business. You're going to win. Disadvantages, privacy. You got to work through it. I mean, are you okay sitting down at a restaurant and having 4 people walk by and go, oh my God, there he is, there she is. You're that agent. We hear all these things about you. We see you everywhere. If you don't like that, well, this could be an odd message. Maybe turn it off because that's the goal. So, question number 1, what is your brand? What is your brand? How would you describe it? Top 5 words, how you would describe yourself in the business. And then, if you really want to go deep, you ask your past clients and sphere, what are the top 5 words you would use to describe me in this business? That helps you understand what your brand looks like today, what people are saying about you as they say, this is Humma Humma. Second question, what do clients want? What do clients want? I mean, do you actually think like honesty and loyalty and trust are things that people want today? Or are those a no-brainer, a prerequisite to get in? What are you going to do, write integrity on your business card? What is it, 1987? Give me a break, right? That stuff is mandatory. It is automatic today. Who are you really? What do your clients really want? You know what I discovered? Most people want the knowledge broker. They want the person that knows everything about the trends, the numbers, the facts, the statistics, who lives in the community, who are the builders, who are the developers, what were the models like, what is the product like, what is it worth, what is it not worth, what's going to happen next, and guess what? The knowledge broker dominates in today's environment. But that's just my opinion. What do you want your brand to be? Number 3, we're in the storytelling business. What's your story? In 15 words or less, I put you on the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock local news in your town, and everybody's going to watch. And you've got 15 words or less to describe you. How would you do it? Can you do it? Would you be comfortable doing it? What would you say? Would it be value added for the customer, or would it be about you and your business and your performance? Something to think about with your brand. Here's the bonus question. I would challenge you to get your yellow notepad, your iPad out, and write down, how will I become the most recognizable agent in my marketplace on and offline, and list out at least 20 things you can do. We just did this in Inner Circle last week. I talked about it with Park City, hanging out, snowboarding, having fun with this extraordinary group of agents. And we talked about what are things they can do at 0 cost to extend their brand. Think about it. Think about it. We are in the people business. If they know you, they think they know of you, they think they know you, they think they like you, they think they trust you, you're the agent of choice. And that's what I want for you. That's what I want for you. So, think about it, get to work. It's Friday. Build your brand. Remember always, your strategy matters, and with your brand, your passion really rules. Talk to you soon.
Here are some ways to promote your personal brand with content marketing, like posting on social media. In the US alone, over 70% of the population uses social media, while the number of social media users worldwide is expected to grow to some 2.95 billion by 2020. To stand out and attract the attention of your ideal audience, post content that represents your personal brand's values in a way that educates, entertains, or motivates people. Your consistent effort with targeted content will entice the appropriate people to you and grow a community. Since you're packing and marketing yourself as a brand, think of social media in those terms. Although you may shy away from being a front and center, you're the CEO and leader of your own brand, so act like it through your content. Take advantage of the casual tone to publish more personal content, including your opinions and unique thoughts relative to your industry. Incorporate video into your strategy. Video is a form of content marketing that will boost your personal brand quickly and effectively. Since video is extremely engaging and personal, it often builds emotional connections much faster than blogging or other forms of content. You may notice that video shows are popping up on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Anyone, anywhere has access to create an online show, just like a television program. And you don't need to be a celebrity or have an audience to begin video recording and publishing. Video production can be overwhelming due to costs that many associate with it, but you don't have to get fancy or technical with your content. Use your smartphone to record or broadcast live video. Answer questions. Assisting people with their most pressing questions is a gesture of goodwill, which also enables you to showcase your knowledge. In the process, you're forming online connections and trust while building your personal brand through content marketing. Go to the platforms and places where people ask the most questions. Twitter is a platform where people are looking for information. Performing an advanced search in Twitter helps locate tweets with questions and conversations that you can join in. Searching popular hashtags in your industry is another way to find people on Twitter who need assistance. Take advantage of these types of online conversations since they contribute positively to your personal brand. Write a weekly blog. By regularly blogging on relevant topics that interest your target audience, you build a community and position yourself as an authority. Over time, this can help you become a trusted resource for information on your niche. It's important to publish consistently since it takes a long time for blogging to reap benefits, especially when it comes to search engine ranking, visibility, and authority. Writing only a few blog posts on your website won't have the results that regular blogging offers. You should also consider guest blogging on authority and industry niche sites to reinforce your personal brand's credibility and authority. Writing for these websites gives you access to their wide-reaching audiences and provides additional social proof. Start a podcast. If you're unsure about video, podcasting is a good alternative. You don't have the pressure of showing your face on screen, which makes podcasting less unnerving, and people will still hear your voice on a podcast, which is almost as good as video when it comes to humanizing yourself and building trust. Podcasting statistics illustrate that the medium is increasingly popular. Podcast fans listen to an average of 7 shows weekly. More Americans know what a podcast is than know who the vice president is. Listeners are downloading podcasts on their mobile devices and listen on the go. Almost 70% of podcasts are consumed on a mobile device. The mobility factor makes this type of content accessible, convenient, and appealing. Appear in guest interviews. There's a reason celebrities appear on interview shows in tandem with their movie releases. It's a way to promote their product in a more conversational manner. At the same time, it gives movie executives the chance to capitalize on their celebrity star power. Interviews give you access to other people's networks and introduce you to new audiences. One of the biggest advantages is that you gain immediately influence and authority through association. In the process of being interviewed, you'll be viewed as a legitimate expert in your field by the interviewer's community. In other words, there's a trust transference that occurs from the interviewer to you as a result of the interview. Determine your personal value. Fortunately, you are already in possession of everything that you need to establish your benefit to potential clients. The formula for establishing your unique value proposition is hidden within your pre-existing attributes, knowledge, skills, experience, and relationships. Examine your resume, life experiences, and educational background to uncover the qualifications that compose your personal validity. Collect third-party endorsements from people you've done business with to obtain their impressions of working with you to further develop your value. Some examples include translate value to benefit. Once you've uncovered your particular set of attributes, the next step is to determine how these experiences are relevant to real estate. Ask yourself how these values can be of benefit to your future real estate clients. The key here is to convey exactly how your particular quality adds value to consumers by using this formula. Because of my attribute, clients get benefit. Some examples include a unique message. It's important to remember that a value proposition can still be unique, even if many other agents offer similar benefits. Uniqueness can also be achieved by using bold, clever, or memorable wording that sticks in the minds of potential clients before you even meet them in person. Some examples might include position your branding online. Once you have created a unique value proposition, it's time to position it everywhere to begin gaining the mind share of the public. Although the message should be included in all print marketing materials and your primary website, the placement doesn't stop there. Since it has become well publicized that most home buyers begin their search online, it is essential to have a complete online presence to evidence the ability to market and locate property. Remember to make your content original and distinctive. Don't bother with topics that have been covered too frequently unless you have more to add to the conversation from a different perspective. Now's your chance to show off your expertise and experience. Be authentic and personal. You're growing a brand identity that represents yourself. Communicate from your heart and from a position of authority to attract and grow your own targeted niche-based community. Create relevant, valuable, and educational content. People are interested in consuming content which applies to them and helps them solve their problems. Always lead with value first and avoid content that puts your product before your audience. Sell your brand, not your product. Be consistent. Consistent marketing is a long-term effort that requires consistency, especially when you're looking to build trust, recognition, and influence. Don't expect results without investing time or money. Finally, don't forget that a clear definition of your target market, strategy, and goals makes building a personal brand with content much more effective. Using content is essential to building your authority, but don't forget the importance of having well-written social media profiles and custom branded images, as people will often look at your profile before or after reading your content. Your social media profiles are a very important part of your personal branding. The roller coaster of marketing ideas continues to take over the real estate industry. As we search for new ways to get business, it seems that the easy answer is to invest social profiles on the major networks. Why? Because your social profiles are what's going to make the big difference in the amount of business you will do in a year. Or will it? It is said that most people know between 1 and 5 realtors. Yet with that knowledge, realtors are still spending their money chasing leads, also known as strangers. It is also said that 90% of realtors get 70 to 90% of their business from people who know, like, and trust them. These same people who probably already are, and if not, definitely should be, on your contact list. Don't get overwhelmed. So before getting all caught up in how to spend your time on these social profiles with the hopes of making ROI back from strangers, you must do 3 things. First, recognize where your business comes from and whether this new profile is best suited to connect with that audience. For example, if all of your business is coming from people you know, why spend a whole bunch of money advertising to people you don't? Instead, do an even better job of marketing to the people you do know and have a diligent process to ensure you're keeping your database up to date at all times. This database is your gold mine. Even any new people you meet from any source should always be going into this list. Work it the right way, make more money. That is your goal every day. Number 2, analyze your marketing budget and determine if you're focusing at least 70 to 90% of it on the audience who delivers 70 to 90% of your income. Ask yourself whether you could afford to try this social profile for the amount of money it may cost and the amount of time it will take to convert this new lead. Just spending the money to get the lead is not enough. You need to plan and budget to market to these people during the conversion process, and you need to do the same during the pre and post nurturing process. If you get repeat and referral business from your list, then even if you do get this new lead and you do convert them into a client, you will need to budget to market to them after the fact as well. And number 3, recognize that relationships take time to build. When meeting someone who may be this new online lead, your goal is always to develop the know you, like you, trust you factor before trying to lock anyone into a contract. Think about it. You're not the only person who got that new lead from that exact same person or lead. So why should they choose you? Just because you got their info online? Why not the other person who also got their information? The key is to develop the relationship so they like you more. That's where business comes from. So it's up to you to get past the tech and get involved. That will make all the difference in the world. The process for obtaining a client is the same as it's always been, and tech can help, but only be the only tool you use. Remember, once you get the deal, you now have a relationship. You are both now real people. Online is no longer enough. Although technology has given us new tools, and it has helped speed the process for many aspects of the business, has this business really changed? It is still always and will be a people business. Technology is helpful, but it can be more time-consuming than imagined. Stop making yourself work so much harder than you should because you decided to spend some more time than you should. Focus on the right audience. Deliver the right message across the right channel. Remember that this is and always will be a people business. Don't get caught in the hype without proper planning and budgeting. Be smarter. You will spend less time, work easier, and make more. Well, that certainly was a lot of information, but I do hope you learned something on creating your online brand. Once again, my name is Bridget. I'm the social media guru here at Realty Executives New Jersey, and you can contact me at any time. Well, until next time.